Hey guys, this is Laura with Laura Gadenic Astrology, and I'm here to give you an update for the week of December 9th through the 15th, 2019. So first of all, on Monday the 9th, which is today, the day I'm recording this, we have Mercury entering into the sign of Sagittarius. Now this might be somewhat of a relief. I mean, I'm certainly relieved. Mercury's been in Scorpio for the past 2 months. And Scorpio is a really intense sign for many reasons that I've already talked about in previous videos, but Mercury in Scorpio over the past couple months has been really intense, deep, possibly obsessive, possibly suspicious. It's an autumnal water sign, and waters always have to do with emotions, the unconscious. And being in the autumn, the time of year where the light is fading and things are becoming more scarce in terms of resources in ancient times, there's this quality to Scorpio that's been very life or death. Like that's where the kind of obsession comes from, or the intensity or the digging deep. And it's really great for researching things, for getting to the bottom of a matter, figuring something out. It's great for all of those things, but it's just kind of a relief to have Mercury moving into a lighter sign, a fire sign of Sagittarius. And even though Mercury is technically in its fall in Sagittarius, meaning that Mercury doesn't necessarily feel very comfortable in Sagittarius because it can't perform its duties very well. Mercury wants to focus on details, wants to kind of focus on the smaller things, and Sagittarius wants to, as a sign, its goal is to expand and to really focus on the big picture and the vision. So even though that's, there's a conflict there, it'll still be kind of a relief to have Mercury in a different sign, even just for being in a different sign. And there might be, some sense of resolution with whatever area Mercury was traveling through in Scorpio. So if you know what house that is for you, you can kind of see maybe a decision has been made, you've come to some sort of conclusion. Because of that very research-oriented nature of Scorpio, maybe you've figured something out, and so there's kind of a relief with Mercury moving on. And so Mercury in Sagittarius is definitely more about inspired thinking, not a great time to focus on detailed things or planning, not the best time for planning. Really great time for inspired thinking, for being visionary, for seeing the big picture. I would say definitely be a little bit careful with your words during this time. Mercury will spend about 3 weeks in Sagittarius, because Sagittarius can have a tendency to want to speak the truth and just be very plain and blunt. And so there can definitely be a tendency to be a little harsh with your words in the pursuit of truth or honesty. Kind of similar to Scorpio because they are right next to each other, but a little bit, Scorpio wouldn't be as upfront about their words or about things in general, and Sagittarius is more like out in the open for everyone to see in the pursuit of truth and honesty and dignity. And so there can definitely be during this time a feeling of wanting to speak with conviction. Sagittarius is all about conviction and what's right. So keep a lookout for that. And then on Wednesday, December 11th, we have our full moon in Gemini. And Gemini is very chatty sign. There might be a mood or desire to chat or connect with other people. It's a very social time to be with friends, but be careful not to burn yourself out. Gemini has the bad habit of spreading itself too thin because it's so excited about all the different things. Gemini gets bored very easily and is also the sign associated with speech, and so that's where the chattiness comes from. So there might be a real desire to just have fun and to connect with other people and to, yeah, just talk about your emotions essentially. But there might be also a little bit of a restraint to the day because at the same time we have Venus making a conjunction with Saturn and Scorpio. And Venus is how we connect with others, how we attract things to us, how we relate. It's also the planet, once again, of relationships and finances. And so there just might be a sense of restraint to that. Maybe, there's this desire to connect and chat with others and to have fun, but oh, your resources are pretty low. Like your finances, you've already done all your Christmas spending and shopping and you're kind of broke. There could be like a restraint to finances and therefore a restraint to the fun and pleasure that you want. There could be a sense of wanting to work hard for money on that day. Maybe the pursuit of pleasure or fun turns into work. Once again, or a sense of restriction to fun and pleasure in the name of duty, like, oh, I really want to connect and have fun with friends and talk and, visit all my social circles, but I have so much stuff I need to do. I have so much on my plate. There could be this kind of heavy sense of like, oh, I can't do these fun things. It could also indicate commitment and relationship because Venus, once again, indicating relationship, and Saturn in Capricorn especially could be a sign of commitment, of longevity. So those are some themes for Wednesday the 11th. Thursday the 12th, we have the moon moving into Cancer. So Cancer is very much so about home, family, security, feeling good, being nurtured. So definitely a good time to stay home, kind of like the opposite mood of Wednesday. Stay home, cook a good meal, make some food, spend time with loved ones, that type of thing. So that's Thursday. Friday on the 13th, we have Mars in Scorpio making a trine to Neptune in Pisces. And I haven't been mentioning the times that this is happening, but for some reason I did hear this is happening at 4:56 a.m. Mountain Time. So remember, Mars is our pace, it's our energy, it's how we take action, it's how and where we direct our energy. And Mars right now is in Scorpio, which is fixed water sign. And Scorpio is actually ruled by Mars. So Mars feels at home in Scorpio. And what I mean by fixed water is Scorpio, once again, is the middle of autumn. It's the middle of a season, so there's this longevity, there's this sense of being immovable, being enduring, and not giving up, really seeing things through. And water, once again, is being associated with emotions, with our unconscious minds, with our bodies, with memory. That's definitely all the water signs are associated with those things. And so Mars in Scorpio is really about sustained energy, sustained action that's filled with emotion, depth, intensity, and a sense of life or death because of that time of year where the sun is fading, resources are getting scarcer, and there's this, there could be a fear associated with it. So once again, trines are opportunities, times of ease and flow. Things won't necessarily happen to us. It's more about us taking advantage of the energy. And Neptune in Pisces, this has been here for several years. It's about what we dream, what we visualize, what we idealize, what we want more than anything. And so this trine, there's really this opportunity to take a step, a sustained action, because of the fixed nature of Scorpio, towards an ideal that you can get behind, something that you believe in. Pisces is all about believing in something or seeing the potential for something rather than seeing for what it is all currently. So getting behind something you believe in that will be long-lasting, sustainable, using creativity to come to a solution, or taking creative action towards what you want. Mars is the planet of what you want as well. And Pisces and Neptune are very creative. In modern astrology, Neptune is one of the co-rulers of Pisces, so they very much have the same goals in mind. So on the same day, we have Venus making a conjunction to Pluto in Capricorn. That's happening at 8:13 a.m. Mountain Time. And once again, Venus in Capricorn is all about long-term commitments, about in relationships and in thinking about finances. Venus is taking things more seriously in Capricorn. You know, Venus normally likes to socialize and have fun and experience beauty and romance, and but in the sign of Capricorn, she's taking these topics or these associations more seriously and making a plan for them. You know, this could be starting something new that that she has a plan for. Pluto usually indicates crisis or a sense of urgency, going back to that fight or flight mechanism. And Pluto in Capricorn could indicate the sense of crisis or urgency in our government system. Capricorn's very much so about government and the systems and structures that we have in our lives to make things function. And so with Venus making this conjunction to Pluto in Capricorn, there could be a sense of crisis that comes up with regards to finances or relationships, and therefore maybe a need to form a long-term plan that is sustainable and long-lasting with regards to those topics. So yeah, that is Friday the 13th. Saturday, we have the moon moving into Leo. The moon is the mood of the day. Leo is all about being creative and self-expressive and being seen. So this is a really great time to do something creative or to express yourself in some unique way, or even a good time to be around children. So that's Saturday the 14th. Sunday the 15th, we have Jupiter, which recently moved into Capricorn last week, making a trine to Uranus and Taurus. So this is going to be about surprises, changes, opportunities, and innovations. This is very Uranus talk, right? And Jupiter likes to make things bigger whenever he makes an aspect to another planet. It's like he just wants to expand that topic in a lot of ways and to bring opportunities, to bring gifts and abundance wherever he travels. And so, you know, there's definitely going to be those things happening, the surprises, the changes, the opportunities. That's a Jupiter word. But they're not going to be super big, I wouldn't think, just because this is happening in Earth signs, and Earth is very grounded, and, you know, not necessarily expansive like fire signs. It's more practical. And so these opportunities for changes will be more grounded, will be more security focused because Jupiter's now in Capricorn. It'll be more responsible. So it might be an opportunity coming your way depending on if this is triggering something in your own chart, an opportunity for more security to, you know, it's like, oh, this isn't necessarily my dream. This opportunity that's presenting itself isn't necessarily my dream, but it's a step towards where I want to be. You know, it's taking those steps. So yeah, watch out for that on Sunday, December 15th. And, you know, oftentimes when things don't happen necessarily in our own lives with regards to these transits, I mean, and oftentimes they do, and we just don't notice because they can be really small, but it usually happens in some regards or in some capacity in the news or in the world at large. And so just pay attention to what's happening in your community and the news, etc. But also pay attention to, you know, smaller, maybe like not as obvious changes or opportunities that come your way. But also I would definitely say the opportunities will be more serious, more responsible. Like, oh, it would be good for me to do that. It's kind of like Capricorn, because Jupiter's in Capricorn, can be kind of like a should sign. Like, I should do that. I should do that for my future. I should do that to make my plan or my vision that I have in the long run work. So it's a pretty exciting aspect happening between Jupiter and Uranus. So that is the astrology of the week, and I will be back next Monday, the 16th, for next week's forecast. Have a great week.